Must be Christmas time. We're getting close. Of course, a lot of times in December here it's warm enough for shorts in December. Especially before Christmas. That's Dawn with two baby dolls. All right. Got a little boy and a little girl, I'm sure. There's a good picture of my family, and there's this mother and Charlotte, and mother and dad, and grandmother Johnson, and good picture of grandmother. She died with lung cancer back in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s, I guess about 69 or 70. That's an early 60s picture there before Mother and Dad remodeled the house and bricked it. There's Uncle Albert and his kids coming over to see grandmother. Dad's youngest brother, he's still living. And George Jr. crawling again. Hey, he's about ready to walk. And Miss Charlotte. Oh my goodness. There we go. That's a good looking woman. And there's my young baby brother, Van, and my dad. And old faithful Lassie. She was a good dog. Ugly as homemade sin, but she was good. Lovable and smart. Just a good dog. Chase that ball or anything else you throw all day long. And there comes the puppy, crippled, crossing the road. That's how he got crippled. It must be somebody's birthday. Look like we're going to have a good dinner. There comes Gail and George Jr. There's Dad and George Jr. Must be George Jr.'s first birthday. There's Miss Charlotte, bathing suit on a trip somewhere. This could be Pensacola trip. No, I don't know. There's that '64 Impala. There I am sitting by the pool. That must be me. It just jumped in. Big whale splash. My. If I looked that good walking, I'd walk everywhere I went. A lovely lady. Indeed. Now we're going across the bridge. Look at those old cars. So we're not old right then. Must be the bridges at Panama City. going on over to Pensacola. There's a Holiday Inn where we stayed. I know it was Holiday Inn because that's about the only place we'd stay. This looks to be the trip to Lake of the Ozarks we took while we had that car, and about 1965, I guess. And this is Lake of the Ozarks up in Missouri. Beautiful place. Branson, Missouri, I believe is the name of it. There's Charlotte eating one of those Lake of the Ozark donuts, a big one. That must be the dam. That's part of the tourist town there. They got me in jail, I say. Charlotte's heading her eyes for home. There's Charlotte in front of the saloon waiting on me to come out, I guess. Beautiful place, enjoyable trip. We came back by the St. Louis Zoo and spent a day there making pictures of monkeys and big snakes and elephants and whatnot. That's a big lake. Got a lot of flicker in the film, but you get that with the 8mm home movies sometimes. That's the reason we have digital cameras now. Take care of all that. These are not bad for the times. Good picture of motel room, probably putting film in, getting it ready to go again. There we are at the swimming pool. The lady of the hour, Miss Charlotte. Beautiful young woman. It must be me fell in. Yeah. Back when I could still swim. This particular batch of film was not real good. I had trouble converting it over. There's that beautiful car. That was a beautiful car we had. I believe we're coming into St. Louis here. That's where we're headed to anyway. They had interstates up there, something that we didn't have down here at that period of time. But we did have paved roads for the most part. We're moving right along. Nice 57 Chevrolet pulling a trailer. There's old Luke standing by that Impala smoking his pipe. A lot thinner back then. 35 pounds lighter too. That probably made the difference. Pretty little lake somewhere. Probably St. Louis. I think I'll get me a drink of water. There's the elephants at St. Louis Zoo. Hippopotamus, big old turtle. Probably gonna see a snake or two here directly. That is a big turtle. Make several cans of turtle soup. There's a snake. It's a big one. Just kind of photograph parts of him at a time. There's a young giraffe, an older one. I don't know what that is. Well, you can stay on the sign long enough to see. I believe those are ostriches there. I believe they are. Big old birds. Even got some seals. Well, so much for that. Let's cross the Mississippi River and head home. Head back south. Mississippi River is a big river. Here's Miss Charlotte, and that's Lassie. So we got to be down at Mother's again. There she ran around the corner of the house. That was before the house was remodeled. Baby brother Van. Lassie and her puppy. And I see we got another one there too. Looks like my sister Minnie Lou going in. There's Miss Charlotte doing a little rifle practice down by the old smokehouse we had. Right behind it was a two-holer outhouse. We was uptown. Had one with 2 seats in it. That was back before it got so crowded down there, and you could step out in the backyard and target shoot. There wasn't any houses close. Well, they're all around it now. Good picture of Miss Charlotte and the rifle. Looks like me shooting there now. Here comes James Ivy. That hot rod Plymouth he had. Comes Dad. Miss Cowley's barn in the background. Charlotte always loved the animals, the little dogs and the cats. Still does. Good-hearted woman. There's my first boat I made. That was a radio control yacht I built when I was having to stand up for long periods of time because of my back. There's our slot car that me and Jean got into. Did a little slot car racing back in the 60s. There's Miss Charlotte coming out. I believe we're at West End here. Going in there and fry up some bacon and eggs. And she really didn't like me taking her picture like this, but she would do it. She was a good sport. There's old Hoss. We got him the same time we got Dixie. He just didn't turn out. We had to find him a new zip code. He was good at, for one thing, just exactly what you see him doing, eating. His ears never did stand up like the shepherds are supposed to, and so we had to find him a new zip code. Had to keep Dixie on the chain there most of the time. She was a little rough on the colored folks. They tried to pick the garbage up, and she'd try to get them. Never did grow out of that. She was a good dog, though. Very protective. Loved to chew shoes up, though, especially Charlotte's. Old Hoss, he was a pretty old thing, but he was just a big old lovable lunkhead. He wasn't good for anything. Just a pet. That's our little house at Rose Hill Road. That was a nice little house. Cedar shake. We had a 61 Chevrolet at this time and a 57, so that would have had to have been about 1966 or 67. That was after the 66 strike. Had to get rid of the 64 Impala when that period of time came along. Couldn't afford payments on it. Had to get something cheaper. So I got the 61 Chevrolet, which was a good old car. George Jr. and Beth. George has 2 children. Beth is a little cutie pie. Still is. Couldn't keep the camera focused right or something, I don't know. But anyway, good pictures of them. Good picture of young George, looks like. What little I got of him. There he is. George and his 2 children. Here we are at Holiday Beach. That was a picture of the main lake from up on the hill, and they had a water spout out in the middle of it. None of these pictures turned out too good, but looked like we're doing a little cooking out there. We had a picnic down there apparently that day. Very few of the pictures we made that day turned out for some reason. There's Gail and unloading the Volkswagen. Charlotte. Everybody bringing the stuff up to the picnic area. George Jr. playing in the sand. He's giving it heck. Well, he's got sufficiently dirty, so his job's done. Little boys love to play in the dirt. You go over here and wipe your hands on your mama. doing, making pictures of the trees, I guess. Dinner time for George Jr. He's gonna get to eat now. He's eating. I don't know who the other little feller there is. That could be Gail's younger sisters. She had two younger sisters. There's a little baby. I don't know if that's Dawn or probably Dawn. Not real good photography work there. She's not happy about it either. Somebody took her pacifier away from her. Yeah, that's Dawn and Connie. And Dawn was very, very young, less than a year old, probably about 3 months.